Come, Nataki, dance with me. Bring your pablum, dance with me. Pull your plait and whirl around. Come, Nataki, dance with me. Won't you, Tony, dance with me? Stop your crying, dance with me. Feel the rhythm of my arms. Don't let's cry now, dance with me. Tommy, stop your tearing up. Don't you hear the music? Don't you feel the happy beat? Don't bite, Tony, dance with me. Mommy needs a partner. Here comes Karma, she will dance. Pirouette and boogaloo, short pink dress and dancing shoes. Karma wants to dance with me. Don't you, Karma, don't you? All you children gather round. We will dance and we will whirl. We will dance to our own song. We must spin to our own world. We must spin a soft black song. All you children gather round. We will dance together. Ever been kidnapped by a poet? If I were a poet, I'd kidnap you. Put you in my phrases and meter you to Jones Beach, or maybe Coney Island, or maybe just to my house. Lyric you in lilacs, dash you in the rain, blend into the beach to compliment my sea, play the lyre for you, ode you with my love song, anything to win you, wrap you in the red, black, green, show you off to mama, yeah. If I were a poet, I'd kidnap you. Remembering my father's drum, remembering the leopard's screech, if I could weave an ancient rope and tie myself to history, I'd spring like daylight out of night into the future of our land. I'd sprint across the grassy plain and make a nation for the gods where I could be the man. When she was little and colored and ugly, with short, straightened hair, though a very pretty smile, she went to Sunday school to hear about Nebuchadnezzar, the king of the Jews, and she would listen. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire, and she would learn how God was neither north nor south, east or west, with no color, but all she remembered was that Sheba was black and comely, and she would think, I want to be like that. If trees could talk, I wonder what they'd say. Met an old man on the road late afternoon, hat pulled over to shade his eyes, jacket slumped over his shoulders. He told me, girl, my hand seen more than all them books they got at Tuskegee. Smiled at me, half waved his hand, walked on down the dusty road. Met an old woman with a corncob pipe, sitting and rocking on a spring evening. Sister, she called to me, let me tell you, my feet seen more than your eyes ever gonna read. I smiled at her and kept on moving, gave it a thought and went back to the porch. I say, gal, she called down, you a student at the Institute? Better come here and study these feet. I'm gonna cut a bunion off soon's I get up. I looked at her. She laughed at me. If trees would talk, I wonder what they'd tell me. Once, a snowflake fell on my brow, and I loved it so much, and I kissed it, and it was happy, and called its cousins and brothers, and a web of snow engulfed me. Then I reached to love them all, and I squeezed them, and they became a spring rain, and I stood perfectly still and was a flower. I am old and need to remember. You are young and need to learn. If I forget the words, will you remember the music? I hear a drum speaking of a stream. The path is crossing the stream. The stream is crossing the path. Which came first, the drums ask. The music is with the river. If we meet, does it matter that I took the step toward you? The words ask, are you fertile? The music says, let's dance. I am old and need to remember. You are young and want to learn. Let's dance together. Let's dance together. Let's dance together. Every time when I take my bath and comb my hair, I mean, Mommy brushes it till I almost cry, and put on my clean clothes, and they all say, my, how nice you look. And I smile and say, thank you, Mommy cleaned me up. Then I sit down, and Mommy says, Get up from there. You're going to be dirty before I have a chance to get myself dressed. And I want to tell her, if you was my size, the dirt would catch you up faster, too. Well, I can't, 'cause yesterday when Mommy had this important visitor, she said, "Run along, Joey, and let Mommy talk." And I ran upstairs to see Bobby and Eddie, and we were playing, and I forgot, and had to come downstairs and get dry clothes. And Mommy said, how could an 8-year-old boy wet his pants? And I looked at the visitor and smiled a really nice smile and said, I guess in America anything can happen. So Mommy said I have to stay in today. Mommy, did you bring my flippers? Tommy asked his mommy. Is that all you have to say? Mommy asked her Tommy. Did you bring my diving mask? Tommy asked his mommy. Is that all you have to say? Mommy asked her Tommy. Did you bring my snorkel? Tommy asked his mommy. Is that all you have to say? Mommy asked her Tommy. I love you, Mommy, Tommy said. Did you bring them, did you? I love you, Tommy, Mommy said. Yes, I brought them to you. Daddy says the world is a drum, tight and hard, and I told him I'm gonna beat out my own rhythm. In school today, we studied joy. I had joy once I volunteered. When everybody thought we were going to lose, I hit a home run. How did it feel, the teacher asked. I said, I had joy. And he said, no, you didn't have joy, you feel it. I am confused. I was very happy till he said I wasn't. Teachers, I think, are funny. In springtime, the violets grow in the sidewalk cracks, and the ants play furiously at my gym-toed shoes, carrying off a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich I had at lunch. Sometimes I crumble my extra graham crackers. On rainy days, I take off my yellow space hat and splash all the puddles on Pendry Street, and not one cold can catch me. The reason I like chocolate is I can lick my fingers and nobody tells me I'm not polite. I especially like scary movies, 'cause I can snuggle with Mommy or my big sister, and they don't laugh. I like to cry sometimes, 'cause everybody says, what's the matter, don't cry. And I like books for all those reasons, but mostly because they make me happy, and I really like to be happy. I always like summer best. You can eat fresh corn from Daddy's garden, and okra and greens and cabbage, and lots of barbecue and buttermilk, and homemade ice cream at the church picnic, and listen to gospel music outside at the church homecoming, and go to the mountains with your grandmother, and go barefooted and be warm all the time, not only when you go to bed and sleep. Mommies make you brush your teeth and put your old clothes on and clean your room and call you from the playground and fuss at daddies and uncles and tuck you in at night and kiss you. Daddies throw you in the air, let you blow out matches, tell you, get out there and fight and don't come back till you win. Laugh till the house shakes, teach you how to walk and wear a hat and pee. I paid my 30 cents and rode by the bus window all the way down. I felt a little funny with no hair on my head, but my knees were shiny 'cause Auntie Maybelle cleaned me up. And I got off on time and walked past the lions and the guard straight up to the desk and said, Dr. Doolittle's stereoscope, please. And this really old woman said, do you have a library card? And I said, I live here up the street. And she said, do you have a library card? And I said, this is the only place I can use the stereoscope for Dr. Doolittle. Miss Washington brought us here this spring to see it. And another lady said, give the boy what he want. He want to lead the race. And I said, no, ma'am. I want to see Dr. Doolittle. And she said, same thing, son, same thing. Nothing makes sense. A bright sunflower yellow tiger was at my bedroom door, teeth bared, ready to pounce on me, when the child cried, "The bear is going to get me." And I completely understood, 'cause I really had to wake up fast to keep that tiger back. Nothing is real, especially tones. I heard a rumbling and thought the world was coming to an end, and saw my body blown to bits and crushed under the rubbish that had been the 100th Street apartment complex. My guppy struggled for one last breath with my turtle, head hidden in his shell, never to fuss at me again for not cleaning him. The blinding light started in the 96th Street subway and quickly swept up to my house, melting my flesh into the cactus plant at my bedside. And as my hand blended into a thorn, I wondered what it would be like to never hold anyone again. What never was cannot be, though it engulfed me, and I cried, what always is not the answer. They came from all over the world, in planes, in boats and dirigibles, on kites and pollen seeds, riding bikes and horses bareback, on electric roller skates and Lionel trains, all carrying an instrument to play or blow or bleat, and the sound called all the carnivores from all over the world, the aardwolf and the puma playing the talking drum. Even the snow leopard, with a long, thin, hollowed ice flute, came from his Himalayan retreat, and all the snakes over 10 feet long slithered through the heavy traffic to my house to play a mass, and through the altos and basses and your condescending attitude, Aretha started a low moan. The outline of a face on a picture isn't really a face or an image of a face, but the idea of an image of a dream that was once dreamed by some artist who never really knew how much more real is a dream than reality. So Julian Bond was elected president, and Rap Brown Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and Nixon sold himself on 42nd Street for a pack of Winstons with a down-home taste, and our man on the moon said, "Alleluia," and we raised our right fist in the power sign, and the earth was thrown off course and crashed into the sun. But since we never recognized the sun, we went right on to work in our factories and offices and laundromats and record shops. The next morning, only the children and a few poets knew that a change had come. Lydia and Shirley have 2 pierced ears and 2 bare ones, 5 pigtails, 2 pairs of sneakers, 2 barrettes, 2 smiles, 1 necklace, 1 bracelet, lots of stripes, and 1 good friendship. Dreams have a way of tossing and turning themselves around, and the times make requirements that we dream real dreams. For example, I wanted to be a sweet inspiration in my dreams of my people, but the times require that I give myself willingly and become a Wonder Woman. Every time it rains, if it's summer, the sky turns pink, and the earth, smelling very sweaty, calls my feet to play. I usually sit in my chrome kitchen chair, trying to figure how many worms were drowned, and why I didn't for once go outside naked. I want to learn how to laugh. Once I had 3 plaits and 3 ribbons, blue and white seersucker pants with a lace t-shirt. I grabbed a bunch of grapes and went to find the end of a rainbow. I walked through the park, up the hill, past the vacant lot they just tore down, past the newsstand and the pool hall, and still wasn't there. I remember sitting on the curb in the drizzle. That was funny, but I still didn't laugh. Sometimes I feel like I just get in everybody's way. When I was a little girl, I used to go read or make fudge. When I got bigger, I read or picked my nose. That's what they call intelligence, or when I got older, intellectualism. But it was only that I was in the way. Almost every day, after my lunch, after my milk, after I go to the potty and Teddy and Piggy, my green turtles, have been fed, and I can't think of anything to do quick enough, Mommy says, "Come on, Chocolate Drop," 'cause she thinks I don't remember what she wants. "Let's take a nap." Just 'cause I'm a little fella don't mean I'm dumb. Then she takes off my shoes and pants and hops me into her big bed. And I have to climb on her chest, be tossed in the air, get tickled under my chin, hear this little piggy 3 times, and get the bottom of my feet kissed at least twice before I put her to sleep. Snowballs are fun when the streets are covered with white liquid, but they mean much more to me when James puts raspberry and cherry on them in July. People always ask, what am I going to be when I grow up? And I always just think, I'd like to grow up. When Spanky goes to the playground, all the big boys say, "Hey, big time, what's happening?" 'Cause his big brother plays basketball for their high school, and he gives him the power sign and says, "You got it." But when I go and say, "What's the word?" they just say, "Your nose is running, Junior." One day, I'll be 7 feet tall, even if I never get a big brother, and I'll stuff that sweaty ball down their laughing throats. I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert. With a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes, I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gazelle, so swift, you can't catch me. For a birthday present when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant. He gave me Rome for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built Newark, and I stood proudly at the helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself and was Jesus, men intone my loving name. All praises, I am the one who would save. I sewed diamonds in my backyard. My bowels deliver uranium. The filings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blew my nose, giving oil to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to round off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned and gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal. I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. As things be, come, let's destroy. Then we can destroy what we become. Let's build what we become when we dream.